What up, guys? This is Casey is Rog, and this is part 19 of consoles, games, and stories from my life. Today is about the Sega Saturn. Um, my late wife was a huge fan of the Sega Saturn. Uh, most of the games in my collection is from her. Um, and she was the one. If anything would go flea market, she'll be like, "Hey, see if there's any Sega Saturn games." And she was above the curve when people were like going crazy about getting Sega Saturn games. So, I mean, too bad she ain't here to tell her stories about it, but I can tell some from mine. But at one of the flea markets, we picked this Sega Saturn up, and one of the coolest things, it's been modded. There's a switch right there. You hit the switch, it'll be for American, and you hit the switch again, it's for Japan. So, and you see that action cart right there. It's the action replay cart. Uh, Technically, before it's flashed, it would make this just region free. But we had this one flashed. Technically, you could play burn games with this without doing the whole switching disc trick bullshit. Uh, but it's cool to have, even if for some reason one region's not working. It's cool to have that. So, while I was doing my controller review, I found this memory card, but I think we had problems with this one. I don't know what happened or something, but I think we had issues with this one. So, um, yeah, I mean, this would have been the ultimate system if this would play normal Sega Saturn games, while in the back it would play like 32X Genesis games, and maybe even in the disc will play Sega CD. That would have made this like the ultimate system if Sega would have done that. But I heard rumors they're thinking about doing that. That's why there's a cartridge slot. I heard rumors about that, so take grain of salt. But obviously they use it for mostly for RAM packs and memory cards. Uh, Pretty much the biggest version of memory cards I ever seen. I mean, it looked like that's a memory card for the GameCube, and the PS2, Xbox looks about the same size. The Sega Dreamcast VMU's a little bit bigger than uh those memory cards, but not definitely not the size of a freaking cartridge like this. But yeah, if I felt like if they would have done this, this would sold out like gangbusters. This would kill the PlayStation. This would kill the N64 if they would have done it. That's why I was suggested. But uh, here's the deal. When I was growing up, I had Genesis. I had the Sega Channel, and I was happy with Sega Channel. And I heard of Sega CD. I didn't heard of 32X until way later in life. And here's the sad thing. I never heard of Sega Saturn when I was a kid. Because I was playing Super Nintendo, I was playing Sega Genesis. Like I said, I was playing the Sega Channel. And I just didn't know. And I heard of the Dreamcast, but I just knew it's one of those things that just came and went. So, I mean, I wish I had a little bit more history when it was when this was relevant. But too bad. But I got a hell of a lot of games for the Sega Saturn. it's going to be hard to see these games because they're kind of in the corner. So I'm going to try point them through. Eventually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to have to move the shelvings a little bit closer. I think I'm going to have to push them this way, push that shelf that way, push that shelf that way, and push the shelf that way. I think that would fix the problem. And so it'll probably look better anyways than having the gap. I mean, what sucks is I wouldn't see that poster no more on that side, but I guess I could take it off, but I'm too lazy to do that. So let me see if I can try to get to those games. You can see why I'm saying it's going to be an issue. It's right there in the corner in the white cases. A lot of these are Sega Saturn. These are most likely, a lot of them, you can tell Japanese, like right there. I actually found the Dreamcast game right there. That's funny. I'll get that later. Corpse Killer. I played that. That's not bad. It's kind of fun. Daytona. Sonic Jam is pretty much a one of those compilations of Sonic games. I enjoy it. It's a really expensive game nowadays. Die Hard Arcade I actually picked up for at a flea market. Resident Evil, like I said, my late wife, was a huge fan of Resident Evil. Tomb Raider actually was made for the Sega Saturn and then ported over to the PlayStation, so it wasn't a PlayStation property. Tempest 2000, I really love Tempest 2000. I like Virtual Cop too. I love my WWF games. In Your House. Wipeout. I heard Wipeout's a pretty cool game. There's Space Jam, Sega Rally. I like the Area 51 game. Panzer Dragon. Independence Day. You got SimCity 2000, like that, Rayman. Street Fighter Alpha 2, like my Midway Arcade Greatest Hits. There's more Japanese games. I like Virtual Cop. And you know, the Sega Saturn had, in Japan, have a different font, like the big S in the middle. That's a Japanese version. And then there's more down here. Gosh, they're so hard. I can see NBA Jam Tournament Edition. Let's pull some of these loose games out. See if we can figure out what the hell these are. A lot of these I think are doubles actually right here, like NFL 97, World Series Baseball. Daytona. I love Daytona. Last Bronx. Here's another Dreamcast game. Guess got next. Oh my God, Street Fighter. The game, the movie. No, this is Street Fighter, the movie, the game. So you play as these guys as the characters, and it's hilarious. Funny. Clockwork Knight's a good game. I highly suggest that. Another sports game. NBA Live 98. I found another Sega Dreamcast game. Mansion of Hidden Souls. Grid Runner. This is the Dreamcast game I saw in the stack. Virtual Fighter. I like Virtual Fighter. VR Golf. It's funny. It's probably not VR. It can't be VR at all. I think what this is one of these weird Japanese fetish things that, I think if you play some kind of game that you would, they would take their clothes off and shit like that. I'm not 100% sure. But I seen this and it's like, for $6, why not? Oh, Bubble Bobble. I love my Bubble Bobbles. And featuring Rainbow Island. Shell Shock. I think Ryback saw this and he's like, that's a good name for a finisher. Shell Shock. And I really can't tell what this one is. It's all in Japanese. I wouldn't doubt if my late wife picked this up as in a lot. And I also just noticed the Road Rash and another WrestleMania game right there. Here's one of the things that sucks about these cases from the Sega Saturn and Sega CD. The cases are very brittle because they're old. They're 25 years old now, give or take. Maybe even older than that. And what's funny about this one, about Estelle, they messed up on the end label. They didn't put the game name on there. I mean, see, it has all the other artwork except the end work. That's kind of funny. Here's more. This is X-Men versus Street Fighter. I think I played this. I believe it's a really good game, but I'm not great at fighting games. Virtual Cop. What's weird, this is very rarely you see this as American copy in a jewel case like this. I mean, it's hard to focus. Yeah, this is the American version, so that's shocking because a lot of these are Japanese. Like this one, X-Men Child of the Atom. I heard this really good game. Real good fighting game. Actually, I probably did play that. Virtua Fighter 2. Japanese version. Virtua Fighter. This actually looks like the American one. That's what it looks like because, like I said, it's very rare they came in a jewel case like that. And Virtual Cop for the Japanese version. And these were the games in that corner. So, let's do the big box first. Virtua Fighter 2, the big box edition. Like I said, I enjoy those. I guess this is Black Fire. I should give it a try because I like these helicopters or jet games. Pebble Beach Golf Links. What I believe about this one is that the freaking guy as your coach keeps heckling you. Some walrus kind of looking guy. Virtual Racing. uh, Battle Arena. Oh God, I can't pronounce Toshiden. I'll be shocked if I actually said that properly. And Sega Sports World Series Baseball 2. Shanghai Triple Threat. I kind of like these, God, what's it called? The Mahjong games, where you match the tiles and shit. I really like games like that. And NBA Jam Tournament Edition. Yeah, it's hard to see through the seal, but I kept it sealed. Here's the last few games, the last stack of Sega Saturn games. Virtual On. I assume this looks like some kind of fighter game. Oh, Virtual Kids. You pretty much play as the kid versions of the fighters. And honestly, this is the Japanese version. Fighting Vipers. Honestly, another fighting game. That's the one thing about Sega Saturn. It's a bunch about fighter games. Street Fighter Zero. Obviously, it's a street fighting game. Sonic R. I have Sonic R American somewhere in the big box. I know I do. I probably just didn't see it. But this is the Japanese version. It's a racing game. They try to compete with the Mario Kart 64, but this was horrible. It's very hard and horrible. Solar Eclipse. Dick! I like that game. Clockwork Knights, the Japanese version. I really like it. It's a fun game. College Slam, another sports game. Dreams. Not Into Dreams. It's say the Japanese version. Detcom 5. Don't know what this is. Oh, another version of Virtual Cop. That's probably a double. I can probably sell this and get a shitload. Virtual Fighter remix, the Japanese version. Oh my god, that just the only thing I could read is Sun. I think this is Puyo. Yeah, this is a Puyo Puyo game. It's like Tetris, but you matches this blobs. If you played Robotic and Dr. Robotic Mean Bean Machine, it's the exact same thing. They just stole the property from Puyo Puyo, Destruction Derby. Cool. One of my favorite games of all time is Theme Park. I used to play Theme Park on the Sega Channel all the damn time. I love getting all versions of it. NASCAR. A Madden game, 98. Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. I love my Mortal Kombat games. Now it's getting kind of like some kind of weird game that I can't understand what it is. And a bunch more text, so I probably won't be able to play that game. Panzer Dragoon 2. Good series to play. Andrade Racing. Blazing Heroes. Gwen Wars. Yeah, a lot of these are now American in these weird ones, but Tunnel B1. I think lot of these we just picked up because they were cheap off World. Interceptor Extreme. Criton. I don't know how to say that. Good. Disposable Assassin. Maximum Force. High Velocity Mountain Racing Challenge. There's another Japanese game, a snowboarding game. Looks pretty cool. Virtual Casino for the Japanese Saturn. Bomberman, Japanese. Dragon Ball Z. This probably was my brother-in-law picked this up. Because he's the one who's into that. And then House of the Dead, Japanese version. I assume that was either my wife or my brother-in-law. And I got one special thing. I already showed this before, but we had this game before, but I actually showed you, I believe, the Japanese version. But I'm going to show you. We got the better edition. The box is a little beat up, so I'll grab it real quick. It is the Nights into Dream game with the 3D control pad controller. Like I said before, this controller is the predecessor to the Dreamcast. We enjoyed it. It's a little hard for me to play it, Nights into Dreams, but yeah, we had before, but we sold that to get the big box version. So, I mean, I thought it was pretty badass to get the box version. So, I believe that is it, guys. Thank you for watching. This is one of the longer ones, but thank you. I'll talk to you later. Bye.